Glad to be here. I got asked earlier in the week that we had an opening to show up, and you're going to be here anyway, so might as well fill in here. And that's kind of the way things sometimes work in the Libertarian Party. I actually discovered I was Libertarian in 1971, same time as the party was founded, but not anything related to the party. Helped form a student group at Michigan State University in 1974, but it wasn't until 1979 that a friend of mine and I, we'd been involved in that same student group, decided that it was time to join the Libertarian Party. We'd seen Ed Clark's efforts in 1978 running for governor. He'd just been nominated for president. And we thought, looks like the party's getting somewhere. And so my friend made the phone call to the national headquarters and said, hi, we're a couple of new libertarians here in Indiana, and we'd like to get involved in the Ed Clark campaign. Who's running the Clark campaign here in Indiana? And their response was, funny you should ask. And the next thing we knew, we were running the Clark campaign in Indiana. And that's how it works sometimes in the Libertarian Party is there's, shall we say, a very rapid promotion into positions. Oh, you're willing to do this? You're here? You're breathing? Good. We'll put you to work. I ended up running for Secretary of State along those lines. I think I was the person that had maybe one more drink than the other people that evening and got talked into it. But it turned out that was a good decision to make. We ended up gaining ballot status for the first time in Indiana. Of course, the legislature quadrupled the requirement after that, so we lost it again and then had to earn it back. But the thing that's important is that, and I want to talk about for candidates here, candidates are why we are a political party. If you think about other things that we might want to do, most of them don't require a political party. You can educate people about liberty without a political party. You can do outreach without a political party. But you can't run candidates without a political party. And that's our fundamental task, is to run candidates. Races where either the Democrats or Republicans don't field a candidate. And I was looking at your election results. Typically, when a Libertarian runs in one of those races, you're getting 20, 25, as much as 30% of the vote. And I'm going to guess most of those were not campaigns where there was a huge campaign effort going on. You were offering people a choice, and there were people out there that were desperate for a choice. They are tired of going to the ballot and seeing nobody there to vote for. So all of you who said you were running today, in fact, take a minute. Those of you who said you were running today, would you take a moment and stand up? Let's have a round of applause for these folks. These are the heroes of our party. These are the people that make a difference. And they could use some help. They could use some help on the ballot, filling in some of those other positions, and they need some help on their campaign teams. It is very hard to run a campaign all by yourself. We're blessed to have, as Chase mentioned, over 300 volunteers. And one of the things that happens when you have people volunteering for campaigns is they learn skills that they can then take back to their local organizations, to other future campaigns. We've got people now that are involved in our campaign that are nationally learning about things they've never heard of before, and they're taking it back to their state parties. Here in South Carolina, our former state chair, who's on our analytics team, has like, my God, we can do this. This text banking, this stuff it's easy. It's not expensive. We can do all these things with it. And he's coming back excited, talking about to our campaigns team about how we can utilize that. Which, by the way, is another good reason to volunteer for a presidential campaign, because you can learn that kind of stuff and take it back. Or if you have somebody running for statewide office, volunteer for that statewide office campaign. You'll find out things you can bring back to your local campaigns. Chase was talking about earlier, it is so important that we offer a positive vision for the future. People are tired of the negativity. They are tired of the hatred and the violence. And you know, if all you're doing is doing a protest vote, well, that can go to anybody on the ballot. It won't necessarily come to us. If we want people to join this room, we want this room to have twice as many people a year from now, it's those of you who are running who will make that happen. The people whose lives you touch out on the campaign trail, that's what will make the difference. And so if you were thinking about running, or even not thinking about running, think about joining those heroes that stood up a moment ago. Because your efforts will make a difference, even if you do nothing more than put your name on the ballot, answer some questionnaires when they come to you, and don't even spend money. You'll still have an impact. Obviously, if you go out and knock on doors, you'll have more of an impact. The more you do, the more impact you'll have. The more people you have working with you, the more impact you'll have. But when people join, they're not coming to a political party for a social club. They're coming to a political party to try to get people into public office. And to do that, we have to build a large enough base to make that happen. We kind of summed it up as a mission statement when I was at the headquarters, or as chair in his headquarters. We said that the mission of the Libertarian Party was to move public policy in a libertarian direction by building a political party that elects people to public office. Because that's the key. We have to get people elected, and you have to get actually policy done. And to do that, you got to have numbers. Because with the number of people you see in this room, you can only get so much done. You double that number, you can get more done. Double it again, you can get even more done. It's hard to remember, but maybe 20 years ago or so, the South was solidly Democratic. They started voting Republican at the presidential level, but they were still Democratic at the local level. And it was this fellow named Newt Gingrich who understood that building that base of support and fielding candidates for those races that weren't going to win initially was how they would build up that farm team until they began electing people. And now that solid Democratic South is solid Republican. It's because they did the basic work of building a political party through campaigns. And so as we wrap up here today, I just would urge you to not be afraid to step up. When somebody asks, you're asked who's running in your district, or you ask who's running in my district, and somebody says, well, funny you should ask, don't be afraid to say yes. It can have an enormous impact on your life. Thank you. By the way, somebody mentioned a question about how to raise money for your local race. If you will send an email to info@votechaseoliver.com, I will hunt up and send you the link to an article that a gentleman by the name of Michael Cloud wrote a number of years ago. And I think originally it was how to raise your first $1,000 for your local race, but they updated it so now it's your first $10,000 or something like that. But it really lays out, here are the things you can do as a candidate to raise the seed money for your campaign. So I'll be happy to send it to you. Just send me your email. Yeah. No, info@votechaseoliver.com. So, any questions? Yes.
Steve, you said 3 things to run the campaign, and I didn't hear the second and third ones very clearly. So, you said the first was choice.
Oh, the types of campaigns. The first was choice. You know, there were three kinds of things. The first was choice, offering the voters a choice. The second one was change, trying to put out ideas that could, that other people, that other voters might choose to, that other candidates might adopt, and so you might endorse change. And the third was challenge, where you're actually going to campaign to win that election seat. And it was the LP of Kansas. So that's lpks.org and their campaign page. Did a nice job of showing that. And by the way, I would encourage you, check out other state pages for other state parties. Some of them are great, some of them are not great, but a lot of them have nuggets that are particularly good, and learn from what other people are doing well, and hopefully other states will learn from what you folks are doing well. Other questions? All right, thank you for the opportunity. Have a great day, and go Liberty.